welcome back. Scone has secured a victory over Bathurst into the regional high school final. It was just spectacular for Scone, who were just too strong for their rivals.
It's like real rugby league, but this is a grand final with two high schools, Scone and Bathurst. Just up in Cessnock, Scone managed to score the first try and the first points. Then Bathurst scored back. Before Scone scored the match winner and won the grand final 14-6. Dr. Phil Drum, NBN News.
To fourth grade of Newcastle District Cricket. Both Walter Mayfield and Hamwicks drew 104 in their match this afternoon. Cardiff Bullaroo beat University of Newcastle 8 runs to 143 to 9 runs to 76. Also, Newcastle City defeated Mayweather 4 runs to 160 to 8 runs to 159. It's Representative Rugby League, and of course the Hunters, Caitlin Johnston and Yasmin Clydesdale made their debut for Australia in the Jillaroo 74-0 win over the Cook Islands to start the World Cup campaign. It was just incredible for Johnston and Clydesdale, who were part of the night's NOLW Premiership victory last month. Meanwhile, two other Knights players making their debut was, of course, Shanace Parker and Autumn Rain Stevens for the Kiwis as part of their 46-0 win over France, while Anika Butler secured a victory for Papua New Guinea in their win over Canada. They're just amazing. Now, let's have a look at at your local sporting moments from September 1999. During that time, the Knights had just reached the finals for the 5th time. And also, During that time, the Knights had gone through to the finals for the third time. And because of that, it was under coach Warren Ryan. And also, there were also local rugby league and local rugby union grand finals in the Newcastle competition as well. And also, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. It was a massive one, as the battle of the local high schools ended up becoming huge. Now it was dubbed the Battle of the Public High Schools because of their usual biffs, as well as tries as well. It was a heartbreaking loss in an elimination final for the Knights to the Parramatta Eels. And because of that, failing to cooperate and also struggling to cooperate as well. Now, Newcastle are hoping that the year 2000 can be the year that they go back to the finals and also go back to winning them as well. But Matthew Johns is hoping that he can extend his contract for long, right until the year 2001. Johns was part of the heartbreaking loss. Andrew Johns suffered an injury, but so too did Darren Albert. Thankfully, the Knights did much better by defeating South Sydney this year, as they managed to edge them out with a huge win, 60 points to nil. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. No, it's not a lot of enemies going after each other. It's the Newcastle Wildfires scoring tries. And of course, they had to go through to the Shute Shield finals by scoring a lot of tries. And of course, the only thing that they had to do was, of course, do the right thing. Conklin McLeod, NBN News.
The Newcastle hockey final started well today, with North securing the win. They will know Plessarts next Sunday, right, Paul? NBN News.
The finals of the NBN Soccer League got underway today, which means that one team will go through to the grand final, while the other has the week off. Whoever goes through to the grand final will be crowned major premiers, Michelangelo.
Right up at a dinner, Andrew Johns, what it's known like to have a good smile on his face.
I'd like to present the award to Andrew Johns.
And of course, he received a award. It was, of course, a Dally M medal. But of course, his incredible performance came throughout the rest of this year, scoring plenty of tries. And of course, his amount of success has also continued. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. Newcastle know exactly what it's like. Their Jersey Flag Cup side has a good reputation. And of course, they've been training really hard since. And it's part of a game that's been on.
Unfortunately, we had enough break to talk about that again this week.
Also, they have an unchanged lineup. Also, the match will be played right up at McDonald Jones. The match will be played at Malphone Stadium. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. Basketball is still going around in the Hunter. First it was the Newcastle Falcons. Now it's the Newcastle Hunters. Since then, the Hunters have been a new look side team. Well, not only for the big ones, but also for the little ones as well. Meantime, the Newcastle Wildfires have just had a victory up in the Shute Shield rugby union clash. Just in time to keep their finals dreams alive. The Wildfires managed to defeat their rivals with a huge victory. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. The Knights' first grade side quickly ran out onto the field in Sydney, right up against the Bulldogs, before it all ended up in a bit of a punch-up. The Knights managed to score first. But then Canterbury threatened the attack. Despite scoring a try, the Knights' chances of making a comeback failed. as plenty more push and shoves came above. That all but ended Newcastle's season in heartbreaking but controversial circumstances. Now they'll have to wait for 2000. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. It was the grand final of the NBN Soccer League for 1999. And of course, he was getting all fired up earlier. Then things exploded after that. As both teams had yellow cards and red cards on them. But thankfully, Hamilton managed to score all 4 goals as well as secure the win. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. The Breakers were doing a lot of incredible training as part of their opening National Soccer League game, which starts in about a month away. But despite that, the guys from the red and blue managed to have a lot of goals scored. And also score spectacular ones. Conklin McLeod at NBN News. The final of the NBN Soccer League saw 2 of the best clubs, Edgeworth as well as Hamilton. Both clubs struggled to score, but thankfully Hamilton scored first. But however, Hamilton lost a tantrum earlier before Hamilton scored 3 more. Just in time to claim the 1999 NBN Soccer League title. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. If any Knights player like Tony Butterfield has 1 more year left on his contract, then he certainly has. Butterfield has signed until the end of the 2000 season.
This is the money for the creditors now. Okay. And then
And of course, it's becoming a huge one for many. But while there's a lot of work to come for the Knights, Conklin McLeod, NBN News.
Well, Mark Hughes and
First
Jason
the
Moody,
Knights
and also
know exactly a lot about first grade.
Doing a couple of
Difficult task for St George, a very good side.
Now, Jersey Flag Cup sides. And of course, it's what they've been doing since the 1990s. And of course, they've got new players as part of their clash against their rival side. And of course, tonight's Jersey Flag Cup side has named their unchanged lineup. That includes Peterson, Gambriel, Johnson, Franzi, Ryder, Smith, Jeffries, who was their captain, Perry, Morris, White, and that includes Clint Newton, Jobson, and White. And also Richards, Kennedy, Warnold, Polgalace, Hall, Quigley, Wills, Greenway, Miller, Baxter, and Black. Also, it's going to be huge for the night's Jersey Flag Cup side, who are hoping to go through to the finals. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. The Knights still had a lot of signatures signed today, right up at Stockland Jesmond. And all it was part of their it was all part of their sponsorship deal with Pure Milk. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. It's usually on field for the Breakers, but however, the Breakers have got a lot of off field right now as part of the National Soccer League, which starts in about a month. And also, the Breakers have got an unchanged lineup, getting ready for this season. Also, they're getting ready. And also, they're all but getting ready to play for the finals. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. Both the Wanderers and their rivals had to quickly have a game right up in a grand final of the Newcastle Rugby Union today, and that of course worked. But thankfully, a small dog, of course, which had to be the only intruder left onto the field. And of course, that was the only funny thing. But despite both teams managing to score tries, the intruder had to be carried off the field. But of course, the Blacks were crowned the winners. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. The Knights players had to go straight onto the bus. Also, the Newcastle chant was of course played just in time as the boys left. As the boys left for Sydney, it was just one amazing time. Not only for first grade, but also for the Jersey Flag Cup side.
We're a long way from that this year.
But a solution isn't as clear as it seems.
I don't know. I really don't know. If we put our finger on it, we change it straight.
Conklin McLeod, NBN News. There was only one game played in the Newcastle hockey finals. And of course, it was Norths and Souths. And only one can go through to the big one, which is the grand final. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. Drag racing is perhaps known as a dangerous sport up in Newcastle and the Hunter. So too is motorcycling, known for its dangerous crashes. And also car racing as well. But thankfully, it's coming back next year. But also, it never worries up in the Hunter.
Let me out.
Conklin McLeod, NBN News. It's time for tennis. And of course, not just that, it's the Newcastle Junior 18s Opens. And of course, it's the finals of it. And of course, whoever takes on against each other will win. And also, whoever wins will be crowned Major Premier. Also, these two have been playing since they started playing tennis at a very young age. Also, the Under-18s finals start this weekend with the Newcastle Junior Open starting with Eden versus Tolston and Douse versus Stewart beginning this Saturday. And also, it's going to become huge. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. Just like they say, golf is not a bad thing to play. And of course, it's what occurred up in Newcastle and the Hunter this morning. And of course, plenty of players have been applying for the finals since yesterday afternoon. And of course, they've been trying to go back inside the putt since then. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. It's dangerous and horrifying, but drag racing as well as being involved in a car and a monster truck can make you have a spectacular crash. But of course, thankfully, it can make you have no injury, and plus, it can make you force you to walk away without anyone. It can make you to force you to walk away without any injury. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. The first round of Newcastle District Cricket for 1999 got underway this weekend, and because of that, it was just spectacular. And of course, Merewether had a marvellous one, while other teams such as Newcastle City and Cardiff also had a victory. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. Playing bowling, or ten-pin bowling as it's called, is of course one of the best ones to go to. And of course, it's right up at Mayfield. Or if you want to go somewhere else, it's right up at Warners Bay. And of course, that's where you get a strike. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. After playing for the Raiders throughout the rest of the year, Ben Kennedy has made the decision to play with the Knights throughout the rest of 2000, as well as the next couple of years. And that includes for 2001, 2002, 2003, and 2004 season. And of course, it's going to be amazing for the unstoppable King. Kennedy has since called Newcastle and the Hunter home for many years. Kennedy has since called Newcastle and the Hunter home for many days. And of course, he's hoping to lead the Knights on a premiership as a player. And of course, because of that, he's represented New South Wales in the state of origin. And also, he's since become huge. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. It was a good job for the Newcastle Breakers, and of course, they had to start their surfing lessons right up at the local aquatic centre. After that performance, it was just, it all had to become huge. But of course, Newcastle knew what to do. Fight back. Then the Breakers had a player sent off. It was during the loss that no one expected. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. It was time for a bit of soccer, and of course, it was local high school teams from right across Newcastle, the Hunter, Lake Macquarie, as well as the rest of northern New South Wales. But tomorrow night we have a look at the year 2000, as it's known as the new millennium. Conklin McLeod, NBN News. Yeah, and of course, we'll have that tomorrow. Don't forget. That's it for now. Thanks again for your company. Good night.